What does the University of Cambridge, coffee, the internet, Hitman 2, Silent Assassin, April Fool's Day, and webcams have in common? Stick around and we'll find out together in this episode of Coffee with Gamer Joe. Hey guys, today we are talking about the Trojan Room coffee pot. As you can see here, this combines a little bit of my two favorite things, the internet and coffee, and the history of both and how they came together to inspire the world's first webcam. So today we're talking about the Trojan Room coffee pot. It was a coffee machine located next to the Trojan Room in the computer laboratory of the University of Cambridge in England. In 1991, that's when the inspiration was provided for the world's first webcam. So we'll look at a little bit of the biography here of one of the guys that helped create it. So he said here, several people have asked about the origins of the Trojan Room coffee pot. It started back in the dark days of 1991 when the World Wide Web was little more than a glint in CERN's eye. I was working at ATM Networks in a part of the computer lab known as the Trojan Room. There were about 15 of us involved in related research, and being poor, impoverished academics, we only had one coffee filter machine between us, which lived in the corridor just outside the Trojan Room. However, being highly dedicated and hardworking academics, we got through a lot of coffee, and when a fresh pot was brewed, it often didn't last long. Some members of the coffee club lived in other parts of the building and had to navigate several flights of stairs to get to the coffee pot. A trip which often proved fruitless if the all-night hackers of the Trojan Room had got there first. This disruption of the progress of computer science research obviously caused us some distress, and so X-Coffee was born. In the Trojan Room, there were several racks of single computers used in the testing of our networks. One of these had a video frame grabber attached and was not being used at the time. We fixed a camera to a retort stand, pointed it at the coffee machine in the corridor, and ran the wires under the floor to the frame grabber in the Trojan Room. Paul Jarodetsky, now working in California, then wrote a server program which ran on the machine and captured images of the pot every few seconds at various resolutions. And I wrote a client program which everybody could run, which connected to the network and displayed an icon-sized image of the pot in the corner of the screen. The image was only updated about 3 times a minute, but that was fine because the pot filled rather slowly, and it was only grayscale, which was also fine because so was the coffee. This system only took us a day or so to construct, but was rather more useful than anything else I wrote while working on networks. It also made a better topic of conversation at dinner parties than ATM protocols. The first published record of X-Coffee came when Bob Metcalf wrote about it in ComWeek in January 27, 1992, after visiting the lab, and inspired by this success, there was talk of other monitoring applications using low frame rate video. Systems such as X Sandwich Van and X Printer Output Tray were mooted, but the elderly frame grabber eventually gave up the ghost. Paul and I moved on to other things, and the Trojan Room coffee pot would have sunk into obscurity had not Daniel Gordon and Martin Johnson resurrected the system, treated it to a new frame grabber, and made the images available on the web. Since then, hundreds of thousands of people have looked at the coffee pot, making it undoubtedly the most famous in the world. I don't think the coffee's gotten any better though, and that's from Quentin Stafford Fraser. So I do have a little timeline here that kind of describes the progress of this. So in late 1991 is when this first started. Paul Jarodetsky and Quentin Stafford Fraser point a camera at a coffee pot and write custom software to allow the image to be displayed on all their screens. In February of 1992, Bob Metcalf writes about X-Coffee in ComWeek. February 1993, Mark Andreessen proposes that a new image tag be added to HTML to allow images to be embedded into web pages. March 1993, the beta release of NCSA Mosaic .1 contains support for those said embedded images. November 1993, Dan Gordon modifies the original system to allow it to respond to web requests. With Martin Johnson, he connects it to the web, and X-Coffee is transformed into the very first webcam. In May 1995, They published the Trojan Room Coffee Pot biography, which I just read to you. Somewhere in 1996, hits on the coffee pot image passed 1 million. Journalist Steve Farrar points out that it's had more visitors than King's College Chapel and is therefore the #1 tourist attraction in East Anglia. May 1998, hits on the coffee pot image passed 2 million. April 2001, news spreads that the impending move of the computer lab means the camera will be switched off. July 2001, an article appeared in the Communications of the ACM when convenience was a mother of invention. August 2001, the longest serving coffee pot was auctioned off on eBay to raise money for coffee facilities in the new lab. It was sold to Spiegel Online for £3,350. And then August 2001 at 10:54, the coffee pot camera is finally switched off. So that's a cool little history that I've found and some information I've found on it. There have been some, so following its retirement, it was shut off as I mentioned before. The last of the 4 or 5 coffee machines online, a Krups was auctioned on eBay for $33.50 to a German news website, Spiegel Online. The pot was later refurbished pro bono by a Krups employee and was switched on again in the magazine's editorial office. Since the summer of 2016, the coffee maker is on permanent loan to the Heinz Nixdorf Museums Forum in Paderborn. There have been some spoofs of the machine from Hypertext Coffee Pot Control Protocol, 1998 April Fool's Day specification for our communication protocol, the 2002 video game Hitman 2 Silent Assassin, which I mentioned, has a level in which a player can destroy a coffee camera in the kitchen as a distraction. Coffee pot was also mentioned in the BBC Radio 4 drama The Archers on February 24th, 2005. In case you were wondering, I do have a couple images pulled up here. I've blown this up so it's bigger and easier to see. But this is the image that was X-Coffee and could tell you where the coffee level was in the coffee pot and whether or not it was empty or whether or not it had refilled yet. And then this is the final image taken from X-Coffee when the server was about to be shut off. That's the person's hand right there about to shut the server off. So this is the size of, I zoomed in on it, but this is the original size of the image. So you can see not a whole lot of detail, but it's like an icon sized image that shows you enough detail to be able to see what the level of the coffee pot is. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I always enjoy like internet history, computer history, coffee history type stuff. Kind of combines multiple of my fascinations together. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little story history time, this unique little piece of internet history, piece of coffee history, piece of webcam history. It's a really interesting story to me, and I really enjoyed it. So I hope you guys did too. But yeah, that's going to be it for this week's coffee video. If you did like it and you want to see more of these, I'm going to keep looking out for some cool, unique stuff like this to share with you guys. Hit subscribe, and you'll see more different videos. I think next week I'm going to try and get the video on unboxing my new French press done. So we'll see if I can get that done and get that to come out. If not, I'll try to find some more of these cool, unique things to share with you guys. Hit like on the video if you liked it. Hit subscribe to see more of these in the future. Drop me some comments down in the comment section below on what you thought of this cool little story. If you have any other ideas or other stories about coffee or that kind of related to coffee or something like that you want to share or want me to look into, I'll definitely do it. I'm always up for exploring and investigating more on coffee. So yeah, hit me up on my social medias. Hope you guys enjoyed. I've been Gamer Joe Coffee, and this has been Coffee with Gamer Joe. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Hope you have an amazing day tomorrow and an even better cup of X coffee. See you guys.